We are officially 3 weeks away from the NFL draft, which means that it is prime time to let the smoke screens take center stage. And with that as a backdrop, Twitter was nearly set ablaze last night with the breaking news that Justin Fields is going to throw at a second pro day, and Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will be there. The speculation is moving fast and furious that Fields is going to be the pick at number 3. Not Mr. Mac Jones, not Trey Lance, and I just don't believe that at all. I think it's rather simple. I think that Shanahan and Lynch went to the Bama Pro Day over the Ohio State Pro Day, and as a result, you have media types in the know saying that Mac Jones is the pick as a ready-made Matt Ryan in Kyle's offense, and I absolutely buy that and agree with it. But think about it. Normally, historically, the Shanahans, plural, both of them, Kyle and Mike, they like to keep everything close to the vest. So I think their attendance at Fields' Pro Day next week, it's great fodder for distraction and conversation. I think there's a much better chance that Fields goes to New England. Heck, I think there's a much better chance that if and when the Niners take a ready-made Mr. Mac Jones, you could see the Niners trade Jimmy G back to Bill Belichick. And the Patriots certainly restocked their roster brilliantly in the offseason. They're ready-made everywhere but quarterback. And I think they have to trade up for Fields or for Trey Lance or trade for Jimmy G, or else the entire offseason, as amazing and robust as it was, it would be a waste. If the Patriots stay at 15, Fields is going to be gone. I think the best fit for Justin Fields remains the Denver Broncos at 9. And please, I don't want to hear about the Lions taking Fields at 7. It makes zero sense. They just traded for Jared Goff. They lost Kenny Golladay in free agency. There are going to be big-time superstar receivers available, great offensive tackles, and probably any defensive player that they want. Teams and fans love the draft. They love the dialogue that leads up, but don't get duped here by pro day attendance or lack thereof. I just don't see the Niners taking Justin Fields. The Dallas Cowboys currently hold the 10th pick in the NFL draft, and Jerry Jones is reportedly infatuated with tight end Kyle Pitts. I mean, Jerry, join the club. Join the club. Look, there's no chance he's going to be there at 10. You know, if I'm Atlanta, I would take Kyle Pitts in a heartbeat at 4. You know, he makes sense for Cincinnati, for Miami. He makes sense for the aforementioned Carolina Panthers. And here's the deal. Dallas needs an offensive tackle or defense. They're in a sweet spot, especially if 4 or 5 quarterbacks are off the board before they pick. They could end up getting a tremendous tackle or an unbelievable defensive player. You know, last year, C.D. Lamb was the luxury pick. Now, I would never be critical of Dallas if they traded up for a ball player who I think, behind Trevor Lawrence, is the best all-around player in this draft. I mean, Kyle Pitts is going to be outstanding. I mean, I understand why Jerry Jones infatuated with him. But if the Cowboys can take a breath here, let the draft come to them, that might be the smartest, safest, best option for Dallas in the first round. Think offensive line, think defense, think what they did a few years ago when they had to lock Jerry Jones in the closet when he wanted Johnny Manziel. Congrats to the Brooklyn Nets on winning the NBA title last night. At least that's how it felt with Kevin Durant's perfect return to the team after missing 23 games. You heard it right there. Durant actually came off the bench, and he explained it after the ball game. I love the plan. Durant and Steve Nash, they decided they wanted to keep KD available for crunch time if the game was closed with a minutes limit. Of course, the game was a bloodbath because Brooklyn's that great. KD, literally, I say perfect, made every shot. That elbow J is so silky smooth. And then you factor in Kyrie was unreal. And LaMarcus Aldridge was awesome. They didn't miss James Harden at all. No one is beating the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, think about it. The East is over. The only potential competition is out West. And last night featured a sensational ball game with the best 2 teams in the Western Conference. We're going to look at the standings. The game was unreal. Donovan Mitchell hit that contested 3 to force overtime. Mitchell had 41 points, but you saw the Phoenix Suns absolutely dominate the overtime frame behind the greats Devin Booker. Chris Paul was absolutely brilliant. The Suns, right now, just a couple games behind a great Utah Jazz team. Both teams are simply terrific, but can they beat the Nets right now? Absolutely not. Denver is on fire, and they deserve credit. Their GM, Tim Connolly, was on my SiriusXM radio show today and rightly called Nikola Jokic the best player on the planet. You know, Aaron Gordon completes this team. They haven't lost since that brilliant trade, but they're not going to beat the Nets. Listen, not going to happen. If LeBron and AD come back, there's a chance. That's a big if. And they have to survive those aforementioned Western Conference teams, among others like the Clippers and the Blazers. But last night just felt like a reminder to the rest of the league. If Kevin Durant is healthy, the Nets are winning the championship. I loathe the runner on second rule to start every half inning of extra innings now in Major League Baseball. It's amateur hour. It's a disgrace. It's kindergarten. It's a carnival. I mean, give me seals with balls on their nose. I mean, come on. End games with clowns or home run derbies. This isn't baseball. It's going to kill the game. Last year during a pandemic, great. What did I say at this time? I was in for anything and everything. Throw it against the wall, see what was going to stick. But this shouldn't have stuck. It's not real. It hurts good teams like the Yankees, like the Dodgers yesterday. Unlike in the NBA or the NFL, in baseball, you have no idea if your stars are going to be involved in extras. Who's available to pitch? What is the turn in the batting order going to be? It's such a complete 180 from how the game is played for 9 innings. You want to speed up the game? I'm in favor of that. That's great for me. It's great for the kids. How about a pitch clock? It's easy. Not this low-rent failure from Rob Manfred. And the problem is he's not a baseball fan. His same Rob Manfred who killed the amazing DH in the National League, who once called the World Series trophy a piece of metal. My goodness. Let me tell you something. You don't know how angry you are quite yet. You have no idea how angry you are. We are back to 5 teams in each league making the playoffs, as opposed to last year when you had 8. The seeds matter. Division versus wild card matters. The Dodgers win total versus the Padres win total matters. The fans are back, which is awesome. Home field matters. I mean, the Yankees and Orioles, that was such an awesome, fun sprint to the end of 9 innings. It was thrilling, a play at the plate. I mean, it was awesome. The end, it was like being at an amusement park in extra innings. It was worthless. It was garbage. If only the commissioner of baseball had a little respect for baseball.